Once again, good morning, and thank you for joining us. This morning with us, we have the presence of U.S. Congressman Filemon Vela Jr., representing, of course, the 34th District of Texas, and I have him on speaker, and I'm going to go ahead and test this out, and I appreciate if you can let us know if you can hear him once he begins speaking. Sir, thank you, good morning, and please, you're now able to speak.
Yeah, Esme, I want to thank everybody for bearing with me. Just learning how to use Zoom and the sound wouldn't come on. But late last night, at about 2 in the morning, the Senate passed the stimulus relief package. It's about 800 pages long, and we are going through that. We expect that to come to the House floor sometime tomorrow. There is a lot in there through it. But with respect to small businesses, I think that this is at least temporarily going to provide the kind of relief that we really need right now under these very difficult circumstances. The stimulus provides over $350 billion in a program called the Paycheck Protection Program, and it'll provide small businesses zero free loans of up to $10 million. And the way it's supposed to work, as long as you use that money to pay your employees, pay your rent, maybe a construction note, insurance, and things like that, after 8 weeks, the loan will be forgiven, and the money essentially becomes a grant. So it's designed to basically bridge small businesses through this period because, frankly, we just don't know where we're going to be in 8 months. We do expect there to be a fourth stimulus package, sometime in the next 4 to 6 weeks. But for now, as we sort through the language of this bill from last night, I expect we already found one glitch, and that is there's another provision, where there's $150 billion allotted to state and local government. But as we were looking through those definitions, it excluded local governments with less than 500,000 people. So we're kind of trying to figure out what to do about that between now and tomorrow. But anyway, thanks for having me. Know that my office is here. The phone number is 956-544-8352. We work with SBA and Angela hand in hand, and we're here to help.
Congressman Vela, thank you for being here for, of course, our constituents and for small businesses. At this moment, we are open through chat. If anyone has a question to be addressed by Congressman Vela, please feel welcome to send your question at this moment. Congressman Vela, we have a question, and it states the following. What about independent commission-based industries like real estate who don't have payroll?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and we're still kind of looking through that. Angela may have already looked at that. I need some time to figure the answer to that question out, but can do that pretty quickly. If you can just give Maricela the name of who's asking that question, we'll get right back to them.
Thank you, sir. Next question is, what do you need from local businesses to show the need?
Okay, Esme, ask that again.
What do you need from local businesses to show the need?
Well, at this point, I think that there was a pretty clear message to everybody in Congress that small businesses everywhere needed this. And so that's why I think the $2.2 trillion stimulus package, $370 billion of that was dedicated just to small businesses. So I think the need has already been shown. The real question, and none of us know the answer to it, is are we still going to be in this spot 6 weeks from now? And when we get to a fourth stimulus package, we're just going to have to be able to address that. So I think the best thing is for people to just let us know what's working, what's not, so that if there are glitches in this bill that need to be fixed, the next go around we address it that way.
Thank you, sir. And just to clarify for those that are part of this conversation, we are keeping track of all questions and we will address the questions directly with our Congressman office to get back to you with an answer on their behalf. Another question, Congressman Vela, it reads as follows. Where do we apply for the payroll protection loan?
That would be through the Small Business Administration.
Okay.
There was a problem with the SBA website for some part of yesterday, but that's back up. But I think Angela is going to speak right after I do, and if there are other places to go do that, I think she can address that.
Thank you, sir. We will promptly submit all questions to address everyone who's partaking in this conversation today. Also, we will have another call for everyone who is unable to join us, scheduled for next Tuesday, the 31st at 2 p.m. And we will go ahead and continuously update everyone through our emails and also our social media platforms. And we're hopeful that our congressman can join us as well to answer perhaps the questions addressed today as a follow-up too. Congressman Vela, on behalf of course of our city and our constituents, we thank you for your hard work. And we appreciate all that you do for our constituents and our beautiful city of Brownsville and of course the region. Do know that during these difficult times and of uncertainty, of course, and as we move forward as a community, we highly depend on your representation up in Congress to advocate for all of our businesses as a whole. And we wish that you stay healthy and safe as well.
Thank you, Esme. And I should be able to get back to you on that first question before your call is over. So we'll email or text. If you need to, you can put me back on.
I appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
At this moment, we have Josh Mejia, a community partner and executive director for the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation, with a very brief update regarding the available resources currently through BCIC and of course a new website. Josh?
Good morning, everyone. I thank you again for taking the time to participate in this very important webinar. Before I begin, I just wanted to confirm that everybody can hear me over the mic.
They're saying yes. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Excellent. I'm going to try to share my screen. I'm being prompted that I can't share my screen while somebody else is sharing theirs, but I'm going to provide some quick information on a website that the city, BCIC, and the Brownsville Chamber of Commerce have teamed up to develop. This new website, which you can access now, called assist.brownsvilleedc.org, will allow folks to register online via text message or through an online form so that we can receive information regarding the current state of operations of your business as per the COVID-19 impacts that we're seeing. The information that we're receiving is very valuable, as you heard previously from Congressman Vela. The more information we receive about the impact of COVID-19 to your business operations, the more effective we are in developing the programs that our community needs to be able to move forward. And I will type in the address to the website on the chat. So once I'm, let me see if I can, here we go. So I just placed the link to the website. You can access that website already. As soon as you go in there, you will also be greeted with a small link on the very top where you can switch it to Spanish. We've been working on overtime right now to be able to translate everything as much as we can. And I believe now I can share my screen. So just give me 1 second here real quick.
Let me stop my shared screen. Okay, I believe now you would be able to access your screen.
There we go. Perfect. So it looks like it's already up. So this is what the website would look like as soon as you access it. And as you can see, you can go ahead and click on the En Español link on the very top, so you can immediately switch everything to Spanish, as you can see right here, and you can flip back to English as well. It is very important for the business community to just begin the registration process immediately as soon as they go onto the website. You can text BCIC to the following number to register. That will create a bridge with our organization and our partners so that we can begin reaching out to you and collect this information. Once we collect your initial information, what we're doing is we're kind of going through every business inquiry, and we're finding out what type of resources would be most helpful for you during this time. Obviously, the emergency disaster injury loan that we're going to be talking about on behalf of SBA today is one of those important resources that we're going to share with you as well. But there's plenty of more resources as they come about. We have to be very cognizant at the moment that with COVID-19, things are evolving rather quickly, not just on the health side of things, but also on the legislative side of things. And new programs start coming up as we progress through this COVID-19 process. We've also set up some useful resources regarding the emergency disaster injury loan program. We have some business steps that you can go ahead and click through. It'll give you a guide so that you can go step by step with screenshots as to how to apply for this loan. We have links for the loan itself, and we also have a list of not only the public resources that are available for communities, but also the private sector and what they're doing to be able to help out small businesses during this time. We're also updating this list as we find more resources. The first resources we found were obviously resources necessary for businesses to transition into remote working, which is very important during this time as we're following through that trend. We also have lending from nonprofit organizations such as Live Fund. Those funds can also be used for the capital and operational needs of your business, and so on and so forth. And at the same time, we're also placing resources that are available from our partners as well further down the link. Again, I must emphasize that it's very important that you register at this moment so that we can have an up-to-date list and be able to reach out to the community, specifically the business community of Brownsville, so that we can go ahead and have that data that we're collecting and be able to share it back to legislators as we're progressing through this crisis. And if you've already registered, please share that link with other folks. If you want to share the Spanish link as well, you can go to apoyo.brownsvilleedc.org, and it'll send them directly into the Spanish link as well. We have over 160 businesses at the moment that have registered, and we're continuing to see an increase right now. So the more the merrier. We would love to hit that 100% so that we have a very good pulse of what the business community is facing at the moment and be able to design new programs that supplement whatever the federal government or state government is doing for us at this time.
Thank you, Josh. We appreciate the update, and we are scheduled to have or host a Friday with the City update with our partners, Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation. We'll be sharing the details soon. This would be specifically to go through this website and acquaint businesses of how to better utilize the website and how we work together as a community and share and update the most up-to-date, of course, resources, being via loans or grants. And most importantly, we all have the same message that Brownsville is here together, and we'll get through this together. And we are working very, very, very close to make sure that we're here to support your businesses. At this
Esme,
moment,
I don't know if you want me to answer any questions or if you want to just proceed with the
yes,
presentation.
let me see, Josh, really quickly on the actual chat.
I think I saw one question. I'm trying to scroll back. Ramiro, he asked if BCIC has programs available to small businesses. It's a very good question. All of our existing programs that we have available for businesses, whether it's downtown or entrepreneurs that are willing to start a business, those are all still intact. We are not closing down those programs. We encourage those to apply if they can at the moment. Again, as we continue to receive information regarding what is happening as the business community is facing this COVID-19 process, we're going to begin creating some new programs that are going to directly impact those businesses that are looking to create the necessary changes to be able to adapt and become successful in overcoming this COVID-19 crisis. So We're actively looking for what we can do as an economic development group. We're actively talking with the city of Brownsville as well and the chamber. It's going to be a variety of resources that are going to be coming out. But again, I can't stress enough, we have to continue to receive what type of assistance right now, or what type of challenges the businesses are facing, so that whatever we produce for the community is actually relevant and effective for you all to be able to utilize.
Thank you, Josh. Is there any additional questions for Josh Mejia at this moment? Okay, so we'll go ahead and move forward with our presentation for the day. Josh, we will definitely take note of all questions to be addressed. And also we will update everyone of the time and date of our upcoming Friday with the City, particularly covering what Josh briefly mentioned during the call. Thank you, Josh. Everyone, it is a great pleasure to welcome to the conversation Angela Burton, Deputy District Director of the U.S. Small Business Administration for the Lower Rio Grande Valley District Office. I don't think she needs an introduction. We all know Angela, and we all love Angela. She's a former president of our local chamber, president for about 9-10 years. And Angela, of course, you can correct me, but Angela, once again, on behalf of our community, thank you for your efforts. Thank you and your staff for being available 24/7, advocating for businesses during these hard times. At this moment, we welcome you.
Thank you, Esme. Can everyone hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
they're replying yes.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank Esme, the Brownsville Chamber and her staff. I have to tell you that I am so proud. They have been on top of this since day one. They've been beating on our door, asking for information. And so I'm very pleased and happy that you all are providing the SBA the platform to share the information about the economic injury disaster loan. As you all may or may not know, we cover 14 counties. This district office covers 14 counties, and we service more than 180,000 small businesses. So you can imagine the kind of response we've had. Our district has fielded thousands of calls and emails and is strongly committed to providing the most effective and customer-focused response possible to assist folks in our small businesses in our district. With that being said, I have on the call with me two of my superstar staff members. I have Reynaldo Vasquez. He's an economic development specialist. I also have Josh Hatton, who is our lender relations specialist, and they will also chime in during the presentation, and we are going to answer questions, but let us get through the presentation first, and then we will answer questions. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Okay.
We'll follow you.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All righty. So let me move down. I don't know how many folks are actually on the call or are viewing a PowerPoint.
We have over 100 at the moment, Angela.
Okay. So the economic injury disaster loan, the eligibility is based on the financial impact of the coronavirus. The interest rate is 3.75% for small businesses. The interest rate for private nonprofit organizations is 2.75%. We're offering long-term repayments in order to keep payments affordable up to a maximum of 30 years and are available to entities without financial ability to offset adverse impacts without hardship. Loans can be made up to $2 million, and terms are determined on a case-by-case basis and the borrower's ability to repay. Now, you might ask, what does this cover? These loans, this economic injury disaster loans, may be used to pay fixed debts, And I hear a lot of folks asking about payroll. You can pay payroll, accounts payable, and other bills that can't be paid because of the disaster's impact. My message here today is there's no cost to apply, and there's no obligation to take the loan if offered. Let's see, moving on. Okay, we've talked about, so let's talk about collateral. If applicants that have an existing SBA disaster loan still qualify, and applicants can have other existing SBA loans and still apply. However, loans cannot be consolidated. When we're looking at collateral, if the loan is over $25,000, the economic injury disaster loan may require collateral. However, we are not declining for lack of collateral, but requires a pledge of what is available. We are, as far as collateral goes, we'll take equipment and business assets in general. Now, when we talk about ineligible, I'm going to go through a list real quickly of folks or businesses that are ineligible. Any business where gambling is more than 1/3 of the annual gross revenue. Casinos and racetracks where their purpose is gambling. Businesses of current sexual nature. Pawn shops, where more than 50% of the income is derived from interest. Religious organizations are ineligible. Investment or lending companies. Charitable organizations, private nonprofits are okay. And some agricultural enterprises. You want to go ahead and take over here?
Hello, my name is Josh Patton. I'm the Lender Relations Specialist. I'm going to step in here for a second. So credit history acceptable to the SBA. We leave that gray on purpose because we don't want to block people from having that maybe your credit is damaged for one reason or another. Really, we're just making sure that people who are going to be able to repay the loan and have the intent to repay the loan will have access to capital. Okay. Repayment. Businesses must exhibit the ability to repay the loan. Were you current on your obligations as of January 31st? Okay, so we're just making sure that you're still servicing your existing debt because we don't want to put you deeper in debt if you're already struggling. Eligibility. Businesses must be located in a declared state and suffered working capital losses due to the declared disaster. So almost all 50 states now, I think, have been authorized to receive these loans. The one caveat that I would add is if you think you might be eligible, please go apply. There's no cost, takes a little bit of time, and you won't know 100% unless you apply. So if there's even a 1% chance you think you could get it, go apply. All right, how to apply. So it works best with Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge, and the portal is open 24/7. We have had reports from business owners that go in during non-peak hours, which are later in the evening and early in the morning, that they've been able to make it through the time frame you can see there between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. that they've been able to complete the application in about 30 minutes. Okay, so it can be much quicker if you get on at an off-peak time. Everything is going to be submitted online. Okay, so please use the portal, and you can see the URL right below there, www.sba.gov/disaster. Okay, so if you can't see it, let me repeat, www.sba.gov/disaster. Okay, if you have questions about the application process, you can contact the Customer Service Center at 1-800-659-2955. That's 1-800-659-2955. Okay. You can also email the Disaster Customer Service Center at disastercustomerservice@sba.gov. Okay, so what do you need to apply? So corporations, LLCs, you're going to use SBA Form 5. Sole proprietorships, you're going to use SBA Form 5C, okay? In addition to the loan application, you're going to need IRS Form 4506-T for the owner, each principal that owns over 20%, and each general partner or managing member, and each owner who owns more than 50% of an affiliate business. You're going to need at least 2 years of complete business tax returns with all schedules. Now, if you're a startup or if you have less than 2 years, go apply. Your application will be put in front of a loan officer and they'll help you work through it, okay? So don't let that deter you from applying. All right, personal financial statement for each applicant. And that's just to ascertain what your personal finances are so that, you know, we're not issuing these loans to secret millionaires that have the financial stability to survive this on their own. And then finally, you're going to need a schedule of liabilities for all fixed debts. Now, I get a lot of questions about how much do I ask for? When you submit that schedule for fixed debts, the loan officer is going to review your application and they're going to tell you what you qualify for based on your fixed debts, okay? The 3 steps to the disaster loan process. You're going to apply online as per the previous slide, and I know we're going to get this out to everyone, so you'll be able to reference it. Then it'll go into the loan processing decision phase. So you'll be contacted by a loan officer, and they'll verify your information. They'll verify your credit. They'll talk to you about your forecasts and make sure that the loan amount is going to be sufficient. They'll make some recommendations and talk to you about what the next steps are going to be. And usually right now decisions are taking up to about 4 weeks. So about 1 month to get access to the funding. Okay. After that, the loan will be closed and the funds will be dispersed. Okay. The initial disbursement of $25,000 can occur within 5 days. All right. And from that point, you'll work with a case manager. You'll no longer work with a loan officer. One second. Okay, important notes about your application. Please complete and submit everything required. I get a lot of phone calls. Hey, should I submit this? Should I submit that? Submit everything. If you don't submit something, it could come across as you're trying to hide it. Don't hide anything. Just submit everything that it asks for. Delays can occur if you omit information or if there's something missing or incomplete. So again, submit it all. If more funds are needed, you can submit supporting documents and request an increase to the loan amount. If less funds are needed, so from the time the loan is approved, you're going to have 6 months to actually draw on that balance. So if you decide, you know what, they approved me for $50,000 and I think I'm only going to need 15, you can only pull 15 and you're only going to pay interest on 15. If things, drag on a little longer and you say I need to use another 20, then you can pull that 20 within that 6-month time frame. Okay. If denied, you will be given up to 6 months to provide new information and submit a written request for reconsideration. So people with existing SBA loans, if you have a 7A loan, the lender that you have that loan with can do a deferment for up to 6 consecutive months unilaterally, meaning they don't have to ask for our permission, they can just do it. There are some criteria that they have to meet, and so there will be a little bit of a process, but they can help you accomplish that without looping the SBA in. For microloans, up to 6 consecutive months of deferment. Let's see. Okay, 504 loans, you want to contact the CDC. So a 504 loan is structured with a traditional lending partner like a bank, and you're going to have a CDC. You want to ask the CDC for the deferment, not your bank. Ask the CDC. They're going to be the ones who can defer the SBA portion. If you would like to try to defer the traditional side of that loan, you would ask your lender, the conventional bank in that case. Okay. If you have an existing disaster loan, they are being automatically deferred through December 31st. I know a lot of us still have outstanding disaster loans from some of the flooding and hurricanes. So they are being automatically deferred. Now, having said that, if you have an auto pay set up with your institution where you keep your money, make sure they turn that auto pay off, because if you send the money to the SBA, you have sent it, and we'll take payment as usual. So make sure you turn off any auto pays on your own side. Important non-monetary assistance from the SBA. We have 3 local resource partners that are helping people work through their financials and work through these applications. Del Mar College and UT Rio Grande Valley Small Business Development Center, okay? You can reach out to them. SCORE Mentors are also helping. UT RGV Veteran Business Outreach Center is also helping. Let's see, a range of help during the downturn to include cash flow management, short-term financial management, messaging, and social media to stay engaged with your customers, import and export questions, supply chain questions, strategic planning and financial tune-up, prepare to prosper after the disaster. All right, planning for further disasters, risk management, and insurance counseling, which can be a big one. Okay, so additional info and resources. So the SBA does maintain a YouTube channel. So if you go onto YouTube and you search SBA disaster loan, make sure that you're on our official SBA channel, because there's a lot of channels out there that are pretending to be us, and then they distribute incorrect information, okay? You can find some there. JP Morgan Chase also has some programs where they will assist you. Micro lenders are a great resource. Lift Fund and People Fund work down here in the Valley, so you can reach out to them. And then your existing lender has the ability to do a bridge loan in some cases. Now, a product that was rolled out yesterday that is not part of this presentation, it's called an express bridge loan. And what it is it's a $25,000 uncollateralized loan. A term loan. It has a term of up to 7 years, and you can use that for short-term liquidity, because I understand that some of us aren't going to make it a month for these funds to get dispersed. Okay, so the caveat on an express bridge loan is that you have to have had a relationship with the lender who is doing the loan. We do have a list of lenders. Do we want to distribute that to the chamber? Or? Okay, and we'll give that list to the chamber. So if one of your banks is on that list, you can reach out to them and you can ask them, hey, can you help me do an express bridge loan, which is an SBA program, okay?
All right. I'm seeing a lot of questions. So what we'd like to do is take questions now. I will apologize in advance. Our loan portal has been down since yesterday. And I did see on the questions that Representative Lucio said that he filled out the paperwork and sent that in. That is okay. The actual loan application and all the paperwork that goes with it is also on the disaster loan website, which is www.sba.gov/disaster. Again, I apologize. I think we did something. We must have blown the thing up. I'm not sure what happened, but we are working closely with our headquarters to resolve that. It doesn't hurt to go ahead and fill out the paperwork on the paper, and then you can always transfer if the website comes back up today. You can always transfer that same information over to the internet portal. So to get started, I would say go ahead and go for it. Start looking at the paperwork and start gathering your documents.
Thank you, Angela. As you mentioned, we do have many incoming questions through the chat. I just saw a question coming from State Representative Eddie Lucio III. It states the new process requires you to print, fill out by hand, and upload it on the website. Can you clarify this? Or I'm sorry, I don't know if it's Senator Lucio. I apologize. Senator Lucio, thank you.
Again, if that's what it says for right now, again, it's very difficult. I have been checking, our staff has been checking the website all morning long, trying different things. But again, fill out the paperwork and either upload it. I can tell you that you cannot email it. Do not email it. You can provide the paper application and mail it, or if they're having folks upload it, but do not send your packet in an email. They won't accept it.
Thank you, Angela. Another question states as follows. If we're covering payroll with this grant, we understand the loan will not have to be paid back. What are the requirements for this grant? What do we need to file? We have 200 employees and don't want to lay them off to keep the economy going.
What we've been discussing today is not a grant, it's a loan. It's an economic injury disaster loan. At this time, there is information out there about pending legislation, but we cannot comment on that because it is still pending. We don't have answers to those types of questions.
Okay.
Choose the economic disaster injury. The economic injury disaster loan can pay for payroll expenses.
Thank you for the clarification. Another incoming question states, my business has been in operation less than 1 year, since July. Will these loans be available to very new businesses?
Yes.
So Josh, I'll get this one. This is Reynaldo Vasquez, Economic Development Specialist for the SBA. Yes, I've been chatting with individuals, so kind of answering questions as we go. But definitely, yes, startup businesses would qualify. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult for them to justify the need because they need to show cash flow transactions. So with them, I would definitely advise them to work on their financial statements. And with that, if they can't do it themselves, I would definitely have them reach out to our resource partners like the UTRGV Small Business Development Center and SCORE.
Thank you. Thank you, Ray. Let's see. Let me find another question because there are many. Give me 1 second. Let's see this one. Okay, so want to get that one? Okay, how is the grant money going to be distributed to businesses? Do we need to apply through our bank? So far, I'm trying to finish my application online, but it's taking a long time since the SBA site keeps going down.
Again, this is not a grant, it is a loan. It's an economic injury disaster loan. And I do understand that the portal has been going down. Again, I would download the paper documents and then I would upload those. For right now, that would be the best solution.
Thank you, Angela. Another question, what is considered a small company? I know we sent out, for those that do receive our e-blast, we have sent out a list of resources and descriptions provided by SBA of the qualifications and description of small businesses, but would you or your team, Angela, be able to briefly and answer that question for those that have concern regarding the size of their business?
Yeah, it's basically different parameters for different types of businesses, and we encourage folks to go to the size standard hyperlink that you've included. However, you can, kind of imagine that the SBA looks at 500 employees and below as a small business. So I'm pretty sure that most people on this call are considered small business, but you do have to look at construction, manufacturing, and those types of things. They're in a little bit of a different category. They're going by revenue and not by the number of employees.
Yes, and just, I know that many that are on the call do not receive our emails. Do follow us on social media. We are actively and accurately updating our social media platforms with this type of information. which would include the link to all these resources that Angela just mentioned. If you have yet to like our Facebook page, it's Brownsville Chamber. Like us and keep yourself informed as we continue to partner with everyone on the call. Another question, Angela. Does it cover small single employee business? I have a W-2, but I'm the only employee.
So with that situation, it's going to depend on your corporate structure. If you're a sole proprietorship or if you're an LLC, you're still going to be eligible to cover your fixed expenses. So even if, you know, based on your corporate structure, you can't supplement your payroll expenses because of the way it's paid out, you can still cover leases, mortgages, accounts payable, and those kinds of things. So I would still absolutely look into it.
Thank you. Are the stipulations for loan forgiveness available, as it was briefly discussed at the beginning of the webinar?
We can't comment on pending legislation. Sorry about that. I know we've been getting a lot of questions on that one, but we can't comment.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And we see many calls. I mean, many questions coming in. Let me see if I can get perhaps one or two more questions to honor everyone's time. As we go through the list of questions, just a quick reminder, please share this type of information with all colleagues, friends, clients, other businesses. We are scheduled to host a second call next Tuesday, March the 31st at 2 p.m. We will be sharing the details for registration via email and also through social media platforms. We ask that you share all this great information to everyone, as it will allow us to continue to advocate for small businesses and continue to collaborate with community partners such as SBA and BCIC and our friends at GBIC to share updates of how we can support your businesses. Let's see, I have another. Yes, ma'am.
Esme, I just also want to give a shout out to our resource partners. I know Maria Juarez Serna is on the phone. She's the director of the UTRGV Small Business Development Center. And I just want to let folks know that they still are in operation. They are not in the office, but they are counseling via phone and web platform. So please know that if you need help in putting your financials together or building the financials or whatever it may be, we have our resource partners working and helping small businesses as they normally would.
And thank you for the reminder. We appreciate all that our great friends and colleagues from UTRGV Small Business Development Center do. They've been, of course, partners of our chamber for 20-some years now, and they're greatly appreciated. If you need assistance, you can see it also on the shared screen. You can reach them at 956-665-7535, or you can email them at sbdc@utrgv.edu. There's also a link that's listed there. We've received multiple questions asking if we're going to go ahead and send this information out. We've received confirmation from SBA that we are able to forward this information, and we'll share this presentation via PDF through email as a follow-up of today's call, also with a link of the recording of the discussion today, in addition to social media platforms. Angela, is there anything?
Yeah, I see a question. It says, so all the current SBA loans you all are talking about are not yet part of the paycheck retention program. The things that we're talking about today are what is happening today, and so I cannot comment about proposed legislation or legislation that has not been passed yet. So I apologize, but that is we just don't know. We can't. Once these things are voted on and coming about, then the information will be forthcoming, and we'll be glad to share. But at this time, you can get an economic injury disaster loan. Those are working. You may be able to get an SBA Express Bridge loan from your lender. But we highly recommend talk to your lenders, talk to the folks you're already doing business with, see what they can do to support your business, talk to your suppliers, and as the information is forthcoming, obviously we'll share that information. And I don't want to, you know, sound like we don't know anything, but again, this is pending legislation. It's very difficult to respond to something like that. And again, these are unprecedented times, and this is the first time the SBA in its history has ever had the authority to issue a declaration in response to a virus, not let alone have each and every state be declared a disaster. So it's a big undertaking, and we really truly appreciate everyone's patience. Again, we're doing the best we can. My staff, my folks are working very hard. They're answering calls, they're answering emails. So please know that we are here to support small business, and know that we're doing everything we can to push through this. Again, customer service line, 1-800-659-2955. You're more than welcome to call the customer service line if you have a question. You can call our office, 956-427-8533, and we'll do what we can to answer all your questions.
Angela, thank you. On behalf of our board directors and of course our team here and of course our community, do know that you're greatly appreciated and we value your time and your team's hard work during these difficult times. As mentioned earlier, please, for those that don't follow us on social media platforms, please like our Facebook, our Instagrams, and our LinkedIn accounts so you can be constantly updated. Do know that all that we post comes from credible sources. We are trying our best to be as accurate as possible, but we first, confirm that these are credible sources to avoid to add to the panic, of course, of the existing situation, and to make sure that you can trust your local chamber with the right information. Secondly, please join us should you have more doubts regarding today's conversation. The chat continues to remain open so we can take note of all the questions. We will be sharing the link, as I mentioned earlier, so you can go ahead and go back and listen to the conversation or share this with other businesses that were not able to join us today. I also want to thank Josh Mejia, our Executive Director at BCIC, which I know is on the call. I believe also our friends from GBIC. We have Carla de la Riva and Ramiro Aleman, and perhaps Mr. Mario Lozoya, Executive Director and CEO of the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation, Maria Juarez from UTRGV Small Business Development Center, and of course our Congressman, which was on the call earlier today. And also Senator Lucio. Senator Lucio, thank you very much for being present and supporting this call. And I know we have your support and all of our businesses do as well. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, we thank you on behalf of your chamber. Please send your questions. We are still on the chat, so we can go ahead and properly address your questions. Once again, please follow all preventive measures by the CDC, by our county. A great special shout out to Cameron County Emergency Center, and of course, Judge Eddie Trevino. They're doing a marvelous job in updating it, as well as our beautiful city of Brownsville. Please follow the recommendations, keep your distance, wash your hands. If you're sick, please stay home. If you have questions regarding your business industry being essential or non-essential, please call your local chamber at 956-542-4341. We're constantly reaching out to the Cameron County Emergency Office, and they are rapidly answering all of our questions and concerns. Please do know that we're here to help you. And with that, we'll go ahead and end today's call. Please stay healthy and please be safe out there.